Okay, I'm sharing my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everybody. So this is an exercise for us to learn how to use our VTAs. No, let me correct that. It's not to learn how to use them, it's to practice using them. There's a big difference there. So there's a couple of things we have to understand in this exercise. First off, how VTAs work. And so we have VTA verbs here on the right, which we can see right here. And these are all the root forms of the VTA. These aren't the forms you're going to see in the dictionary. These are the roots of the forms. In the dictionary, you see each form and you see it conjugated with an EW after it. That E is right here. That's this theme sign. Okay. So that's why they're in the root forms, because we're building them up now. We're gonna make them up on the fly based on what's happening. So a couple things we have to understand. We have 4 people in this diagram. So first of all, we each have to pick who we are. Since it's just you and me, Maggie, I'll be the red guy. You can be the red girl. And then you can also be the purple person, and I will be the light green person. And so what's happening here is we pick a verb. So we'll start out with wapum, because everybody knows that verb, and it's really easy. It is to see. It's also regular. Now, if we look at this arrow is describing an action. It's describing that Ben is doing the action to Maggie. So Ben is seeing Maggie. Okay. But how we conjugate this depends on who's saying that action to whom. So if I was to tell Maggie, I see you, well, let's start with wapum. So we're going to write that out. And that's our root form. And now we have to add in the different pieces. So who is involved in the verb? Well, if I see Maggie, I am first person, Maggie is second person, because she's the one I'm talking to. So we know that we have second person involved in this and first person involved in this. Now we have to decide which way is the direction going. And the direction of the action is going from the first person to the second person. So it's going this way. So this is our theme sign. Now, with anyone in the green here, we have to put a person marker we have to put a person marker for the leftmost person because of the hierarchy. The hierarchy in Cree is 2, 1, 3, 3 obviative. Okay, so since the second person is here, we have to mark for them. If the second person wasn't here, we wouldn't mark for them. We would mark for the first person. Say if it was first and third, we would mark for the first person. But since the second person is involved in the action, they have to be marked in front of the verb. And then the direction is going this way, as we pointed out. So it's 1s to 2s. So it's going this direction. So we have to use the theme sign ete. And then we have to finish the conjugation, which is an N for any speech act participants. Speech act participants is anyone who is in the speech act, which is here highlighted with green. So we get the form kiwapametin, and that's me telling Maggie, I see you. Maggie, kiwapametin. So now it's Maggie's turn to speak, and Maggie is going to tell me what action is happening. Now notice, now that Maggie's the one speaking, she's 1s and I'm 2s because Maggie is speaking to me, even though I'm the one seeing Maggie. So it's important to know that she's sitting here like, I don't know, this is her words, and she's speaking to me, but I'm the one seeing her, and she's saying, you see me. So again, the second person is involved in the action, and the first person is involved in the action. But this time it's the second person seeing the first person. So the direction is going this way. And the theme sign we're going to use is the I. So let's start out with wapum again. This is the root form. We pick the leftmost person that's involved in the action. So in this case, it's the second person, right? Because they're the leftmost person. If the second person wasn't here, again, we'd use somebody else. Since the second person is involved in the action, they have to be marked. And then we're going to use the theme sign I, and we're going to finish out the conjugation for a speech act participant with an N. So Maggie would say,
Kiwapamin.
Perfect. So now we've seen how we can figure out just what we need to do to make the conjugation up. And we'll make a few more here. I'm just going to, so now if I'm going to talk to Maggie too, so I'm talking now to this person, okay? I'm first person, Maggie 2 is second person, and Maggie is third person. Okay. Notice now the action is going from 1s to 3s. So it's involving 1 and it's involving 3. So we take Wapum to see. We put the person marker for the leftmost person. Well, notice there's no second person here. So we're not going to put Ki, but there's a first person. So we'll put Ni. And now first person going to third person is this one right here, right? It's first person going to third person. So we're going to put an A as the theme sign, and we're going to finish out the inflection with the third person marker. And so I will tell Maggie 2, hey, Maggie 2, Nawapamau Maggie. And I'm saying Nawapamau Maggie, I'm seeing him or her, but I'm telling this to this person. So it's important to know who we're talking to and who we're doing the action to. Two things that we have to remember when we're doing this. Hey, Maggie. Now, can you tell me as Maggie 2, can you tell me what I'm doing in this, or can you explain to me the steps to figure it out?
Ben, Kiwapamau Maggie.
Okay, so you've given me the answer, but show me how you did that. So show me who's first person, second person, and third person.
Okay, so I'm first person.
Maggie 2 is first person.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you talking to?
Ben,
So who's
one,
that?
second person.
Okay, so I'm second person.
Mm-hmm. And third person is Maggie.
Perfect. So we have a second person and we have a
Mm-hmm.
third person involved in the action.
Mm-hmm.
And so if either 1 or 2 goes to 3, we use this ox here. And so which way is the direction going?
Long A.
It's going 2 to 3, right?
Yeah.
So it's going this direction. So we're going to use the A. So when we use Wapum, we figured out that the A goes here. Do we need a person marker?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
how
the
do we know which one?
hierarchy.
And how do we know which one to use?
Okay.
And how do we know
It's
that?
because of the hierarchy of second person.
Perfect. And then we finish out the inflection because there's a third person. So just like you said, Kiwapamau Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So let's do a bit of drill and we'll just do the answers and then we'll come up and see if we come up with any problems moving forward. Okay. Hey, Maggie 2. Nawapamau Maggie.
Kiwapamau Maggie. See?
Nawapamau Maggie.
Ah, okay. Kiwapamau Maggie.
Hey, Maggie. Kiwapamitin.
Uh-huh. Kiwapamin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'll change the slide and we can go to the next one. Hey, Maggie. Kiwapaminsi.
Uh-huh. Kiwapamitin.
Maggie 2. Nawapamikchi, Maggie.
Uh-huh. Kiwapamik Maggie.
Squats. Какой чумен?
Um, Ben. Kiwapamik. See? Maggie.
What?
Oh, I'm Maggie too. Kiwapamik.
What? Oh, you're Maggie 2?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you have to tell me that.
Sorry, I thought I did.
Why did you stay as Maggie and we'll just rotate through the slides more? It'll be easier that way.
How? Kiwapamitin, Ben.
Kiwapamin.
Ben too. Nawapamik. No, wait. Nawapamau. Ben na? T?
Kiwapamau Ben. Maggie, no up Mick Maggie too? Chi?
Kiwapamik Maggie too. Ben,
The squats.
Kiwapamau Maggie too.
No up Mal Maggie too. Hey Maggie, go up Mick Chi Ben too?
What? Niwapamau Ben too.
Okay.
Oh. The Ben, Niwapamau Nawapamau T Ben too.
Go up Mal Ben too. Hey Maggie too. No up Mal Chi Ben too?
Kiwapamau Ben too.
Penis squats.
Um, Ben, Kiwapamau Ben too.
Is that a question or a statement?
Oh, Kiwapamau na Ben too.
No up Mal Ben too. Okay, so we can see we're already bored with this level, right? Because it's fairly easy for us. So just for everybody watching, what we started out making a statement, and then we started putting in chi or na to make it a question the other person had to answer. And then the next step is to try and trick them. So we'll do a couple here where we'll try and trick them. I'll purposely say the right or wrong one and see if Maggie catches it or not. Hey Maggie, kawapamitin na.
What? Kiwapamau Ben too.
Oh, Maggie, kawapaminchi.
What? Uh, Sasai Kawapamau Ben too.
Maggie too.
Mm-hmm.
Kawapamitinchi.
What? Kiwapamin. Kiwapamau Ben too.
Okay. Hey Maggie, niwapamik Ben too.
What? What's Kiwapamik Ben too. Maga. Kiwapamau Ben too.
Okay. So what we've done there is I've purposely given her the wrong ones to see if she can check it to see if it's right in her head. So you've done really well. So the next step now is we can obviously start using the other verbs. So we've got wapam, kanawapam, samin, achim, kakwechim, blah, 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 blah. Now to be transparent here, there's a reason there's a space between these two. These ones are all regular, and all you do is add in the theme sign and the ending. These ones have a contraction based on the fact that they have AW at the end. These ones are called VTA 4s. This T will change to an S based on certain conjugations. And this is a VTA 3. It's a consonant W cluster, so this W is going to change into an O when certain I's are added to it. And that is all stuff that a person has to read in a book. This is like drill time. This isn't like, let's teach how VTAs work, but that's just a little heads up. So let's take this up a step, Maggie. Let's start using different verbs and bring that level of difficulty up. So Maggie, kiko stick chi Maggie too.
Uh-huh. Nickel stick Maggie too.
Okay. Ina squats.
Uh, Ben. Um. Bait the whale. Ben too. Bait the whale. Maggie too.
Ben tu peitoyo Maggie tua. Hey Maggie, Maggie tua peitak. No, just squat. No, like it's hey Maggie, Ben two. I'm gonna switch it. Hey Maggie, Ben two Kiwapamikti.
What? Maggie too. Nawapamik.
Okay.
Ben. Kiwapamitin na. Ben too.
Hey, go ahead. Pues como Moe Kiwapamin.
Oh, tapoy na?
Yeah. Ben two Kiwapamik.
Oh.
Maggie,
Mhm.
nina tik chi. Ben two.
Gonna stick Ben too.
Okay.
Ben. Mana guess. I don't know.
So that thing you just ran into right there is the whole point of the exercise, because whatever the conjugation you're going to do, you're not sure of. So if we were
Tapoy.
recording, we would try and actually figure it out. You're probably going to say kinasin,
Yeah.
and in that case, it's irregular, right? The T changes to an S with the addition of the I. Kinasin.
Kinasin
Mots ben tu natik.
Oh.
So now we have the different verbs. And now, as the next level, let's switch into the conjunct. Okay, I know sometimes this doesn't really make sense. Grammatically it does, but contextually it doesn't, but we're just practicing the conjugations. So now if I was to go back this and we were just starting the conjunct, I would probably start just with wapum again, and we'll just use the one verb because we're focusing on the conjunct. So, Maggie, iwapametan si.
Iwapamayin.
Okay.
Ben. Que mat.
Shorty.
Mat.
Ito
Iwapamat na. Maggie too.
Iwapamak, Maggie too. Iwapamak, Maggie too. Iwapamit, si, Maggie too. You're not sure.
No.
My face isn't giving it away. 50-50 chance.
Iwapamit.
And what did you say? Kitomite.
Iwapamit. Maggie too. It's wrong though.
Iwapamit. No, Iwapamit.
Oh, okay.
Iwapamit. Iwapamak, Iwapamit. Iwapamak, Iwapamit.
Yeah.
Iwapamut, Iwapamisk. Iwapamat, Iwapamisk. So that's another way this exercise can be used. Somebody can just sit here with the page up and down buttons and just practice. Like, no, Iwapamak B2, Iwapamit B2. And then if I'm talking to Maggie, Iwapamisk Maggie 2, Iwapamut Maggie 2, Iwapamat Maggie 2, Iwapamakut Maggie 2, or whatever, Maggie 2. So that's a good way to practice. Why don't, let's do some of that. Just tell me what's going on from your perspective, Maggie.
Iwapamiyan or Iwapamin. Iwapamitan. Iwapamat. Iwapamit.
Iwapamisk.
Ik.
Misk.
Iwapamisk.
Yeah, 3S to 2S.
Iwapamak. Iwapamut.
Iwapamit.
Oh, Iwapamit.
That's three S to one S. Iwapamit. Very closely.
Iwapamit.
Igoma. Iguanoma.
Iwapamit. No, wait. No,
Short A.
Iwapamut. Thank you.
Yeah.
Iwapamisk.
Perfect. Your brain's probably tired now. That's quite a bit. So, and then the next level for this would be question and answer using all the different verbs and the conjunct or the independent. And a way you can practice this is the person can ask in the independent a question, and the other person can reply in the conjunct the answer. So, for instance, Kiwapamitin chi, Maggie?
Iwapamin.
Perfect. Hey, Maggie. Nawapamauchi, or sorry, Nitachamauchi, Maggie too. Nitachamauchi, Maggie too.
Achimit.
Short A.
Achimit. Maggie too.
Okay. Egwa, Maggie. Kiwapamauchi, Ben too.
Iwapamak. Ben
Okay.
too.
Egwa, Witmoin, Oma. Katotaman.
Ge Kagwichamau Ben too.
Okay. Ikakwitchamak, Ben too. Egwa.
Ke Kagwichamik Ben too.
Ikakwitchamit, Ben too. Hey, Maggie. Kipaswauchi, Maggie too.
E paswau wak.
No,
What?
short A. Or sorry. No, you're right, but you just added a wow in there. Ipaswa.
E paswak. Maggie too.
Ipasoskchi.
E pasik.
Ipasot.
What? E pasot.
Because it's it, right? Iwapamit, but there's a W there, so it becomes ipasot. That one's tricky, and there's not too many consonant vowel or consonant W clusters at the end. So that's a pretty good overview of the exercise, right? By just hitting the up and down buttons on the page up and down, we can just cycle through these. And again, the hierarchy's on the bottom there if anyone needs to reference it. One thing to remember that's not really indicated here is just get my drawing pen, just a reminder. If you're dealing with 2 or 1, either of these ones going to 3, you use these ones here. Okay. These ones are only used between 2 and 1. These ones are used between 1 and 3 and also 2 and 3, which is something that's not easily discernible from that diagram. You got any questions, Maggie? No? Call that good then. So yeah, everybody study up and we'll practice this next week, I guess, Maggie?
Probably.